I couldn't even work out what 24 divided by 2 was. Watcher, can this little fixing really hold 100 kilograms? Stay tuned and I'll let you know my thoughts. Now these little devices are supposed to be able to carry 100 kilograms each. Will they be able to? I'm going to fit some on, show you how I did it, and have a little talk about what I really think. So why, you're probably thinking, would I need drywall fixings that can hold over 100 kilograms each? The simple answer to that is I have cats. One of them is about 6 kilograms, so about average size. The other is 11 kilograms, so it's about 22, 23 pounds in weight. They're both Savannahs and they're both really hyperactive, chasing each other all the time. So what I've done is I've built 2 cat trees together so that they reach to the ceiling, and then I put some shelves across the wall to another unit so that they've basically got a load of places they can run and play. Well, one morning I woke up with a tremendous crash. It's early hours of the morning, and my honest thought was that somebody had broken into my flat. So I've jumped up out of bed, ran into the hallway, only to find the front door secure and fine. I guess Amari was chasing Odin around, and they got up on the shelves, and maybe Amari's jumped and it's pushed the shelf completely out of the fixings on the wall, crashed down on top of the unit and sent everything flying everywhere. Now I had used what were supposed to be really good fixings, and I'll go into them in a little bit, but clearly the fixing on my plasterboard, or drywall as they call it in America, really wasn't strong enough. So what fixings have I tried? So the ones that I have tried, this is one, but you need 20 millimeters for that when it's folded to fit through, which then springs open and obviously pulls back. Another type, which everyone's seen, are what we call the raw plugs. I don't even know if Raw make them anymore, but these are clearly no good for fixing into drywall. One type which did look promising were these, and they do really spread out nicely, but to get them in, you can see you need another about 20 millimeters, maybe 25. That's got to push through before you can actually before you can even screw it down and pull it out. So another one very similar is this one, which has a massive wide area for support, but to get it through you really do need probably 1.5 inches to get those inside. Now this is the fixing that I actually had in my wall, and as you can see it's quite narrow. It doesn't take up too much space, but I did have to chop off the top here because that little self-drilling part just wouldn't go through. It was rubbing against the inside wall, so I actually chopped it off just so that I could get it to fit. But the problem is, if you look closely, you can see that it's been quite deformed. So I'm guessing that even though I cut the top off, it's still pushed against the wall, which then probably put pressure outwards from the plasterboard itself, which in turn probably weakened the joint in the first place. So that wasn't any good. So I clearly needed a different type of fixing, one which wouldn't take up much space but could hold a lot of weight or a lot of force. And after doing some research, I actually found these. Now these are the Bullfix Ultimate Plasterboard Fixing Heavy Duty Drywall Anchors. Drywall is just the sort of, we just use the phrase plasterboard. And as you can see from where my finger is there, that's probably roughly about where the plasterboard will end. Probably actually, it's probably going to be a bit wider than that. And it doesn't take up much space above that. And the way that these work is that you push these, you drill a hole, 20 millimeters hole, and then you push these little inserts into the hole in the wall. Then you take this part and you push it inside, and as you push it in, they open out, which will support, they say, 100 kilograms. What I'll do now is I'll just show you how I fix these to the wall. It's a Glenodal. Sorry, you might not realise what that means, but if you're from East London, you'll know. But if you're not, a Glenodal is Cockney rhyming slang. It's for doddle, which basically just means it's really easy to fix. So you start off by drilling a 20mm hole in your drywall. The best drill, I would say, is probably one of those hole saws that will drill a really nice neat hole through the drywall. I couldn't find mine. I don't know what I did with it, and my memory issues mean I'm probably never going to find out. So I did have a 20mm tile saw. Basically, it's a hole saw that's coated in diamond, and it's used to cut really neat holes in tiles. But it's perfect for this. I wasn't going to use hammer, and I suggest you don't use a hammer drill, because if you are using a hammer drill, what will happen is it'll cut through the plasterboard really nicely, the first bit, and through the plaster. But there's like a skin of paper on the back of the plasterboard, and what could happen if you're using a hammer drill is it could sort of push it out before it cuts through, which will then leave a not a very good hole. So not such a great fixing for these Bullfixes. So don't use a hammer drill. Use a hole drill, a hole saw. You could probably even use something like a Forstner bit if you're a woodworker. You're only cutting through plasterboard after all. So you drill a 20mm hole. Then you put in the sleeve, if you want to call it a sleeve. There's a proper name for that, I'm sure. You push that into the plasterboard, and you can use a hammer. My drill was pretty much perfect, and I didn't need to use a hammer. I just used my thumbs. I just pushed it in a bit with a bit of force, but it does say you can use a hammer. Once that's in, then you press in the actual fixing, which opens up, leaving you with a nice hole to put the bolt into, which they come supplied with. So it's a really, really simple job. And I would say each hole took me no more than 2 minutes, 3 minutes. So then I screwed the little bolts that come with it into the hole, leaving a bit out, and then I forced down the shelf on top of it. So I've got a good sturdy fixing on my shelf. Now, the only downside that I found for my use was that the shelf brackets itself are only about 3/4 of an inch wide, and because these are an inch, 25mm, it did leave a little bit showing on each side. I'll put a photo up here so you can see. So it left a little bit showing. Now, it's an easy workaround. If I'd known before how it's going to be showing, what I would have done was just cut a little cross in the wallpaper where the hole was already. Remember, I already had a hole, so I didn't need to re-drill a new hole. I would have cut a cross in the wallpaper, just peeled it back, then drilled the main hole, put the fixing in, and then with a little bit of paste just push back the wallpaper, and it makes it invisible. So obviously in your case you're probably doing it before then, so that's the thing to do. Just cut across, peel it back, drill the hole, then you can paste it back over, and you won't see the fixing at all. And obviously if you're going to be decorating afterwards, then just literally just decorate straight over it. It really makes it easy. The other thing with these thick fixings, and leaving a little bit showing, is that for probably 90% of what you're going to be using it for, you'll never actually see that anyway. I would imagine that these things are going to be used for putting up TV brackets, for putting up heaters on the wall, for hanging radiators. And all of those things have brackets which are going to be more than an inch wide. So when you screw them into the wall, they're not going to be seen anyway. So it's very rare that you're going to come across a time where you're actually going to be seeing anything of that. And as I said, it's a really easy workaround anyway. Overall impressions are, these are fantastic. They're really, really strong. They are so simple to fit. So these things, really neat. You drilled that hole, 20mm hole. You push the outside bit in. you put in the actual fixing, and then you put your screw in. Job done. So, Bullfix, amazing. I'm not sponsored by Bullfix. They're not paying me for this review. If they wanted, they can. But no, I don't get anything. It's literally, I saw this product, I tried it out, and I was like, oh, what a great idea. And I thought I'd do a video on it. If you would like to buy these, I've actually put a link in the description below where you can buy them directly from Amazon. Now, I do get a tiny commission from any purchases that you make after clicking on my link, but it doesn't cost you anything. So if you go in and buy them, I don't, it doesn't cost you more. My box comes with 24, which is enough to put up, oh my God, 12. I couldn't even work out what 24 divided by 2 was. But yeah, so I could put 12 shelves up if I want to. But I'm not going to. I don't need to. I've not got that many shelves. But these are going to be used. There's another unit that I've got, my big bookshelf, which you can see behind me, it's sort of pulled out a little bit from the wall. And I did have that fixed in, funnily enough, with these again. But it started to pull out. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to re-drill. It's only one hole. And I'm going to put these little beauties in their place. And then I know that the bookshelf is absolutely fine because it is really heavy. And even though it's high, both cats can jump up that high and jump on top of it. So obviously I don't want them jumping up on it and it's falling down and scattering my books everywhere. In summary, yeah, I think they're brilliant. I really, really do. Thanks for watching my video. It's my first ever product review. And I hope that you enjoyed it. Please use the comment box below. Let me know what you think. If you'd like my video, please give it a thumbs up. If you've really not liked it, give it a big thumbs down. I need to know what people are enjoying and what they're liking. Comment, please. That really, really does help the channel because YouTube sees engagement. And when they see engagement, they will push my video out to other people. Also, please, if you've not already subscribed, hit that subscribe button because that is the biggest way to grow my channel. And the more my channel grows, the more people will get to see it. And hopefully I'll help more people because that's what this channel is really all about, helping people. And it's going to be products that might help, or it's going to be talking about benefits, or it's going to be talking about disability, things like that. So the more my video gets out there, the better it is for everybody and not just me. So having said all that, I really do appreciate you watching my video. And as always, I wish you love and peace. Take care and hopefully I'll see you again soon.